This s'mores cake will turn even s'mores haters into a fan, trust me. I don't like s'mores at all actually, but my daughter loves them, so she asked me to make this cake for her. My chocolate cake is just box mix. While it's baking in the oven, I'm going to make the cookie crumble. 3/4 cup of graham cracker crumbs is about 6 cookies. I know this is 7 right here. I can't count. Just do what I say, not as I do, okay? I crush these up with my fingers, which actually kind of hurt. And then I add some melted butter and a couple of tablespoons of sugar. Combine that up real good. I started with a spatula, but then I realized it's way better to get your hand up in there and just squeeze it and crumble it. Spread it out on a cookie sheet that has parchment paper or a silicone mat and bake for about 10 minutes. It's gonna get nice and golden and toasty. Now here's another do as I say, not as I do moment. You want to broil the marshmallows for a little bit, but please make sure you line or spray this pan before you do that because my marshmallows ended up sticking. But they look so good though, right? We're gonna let those cool off because they need to be thrown into this toasted marshmallow icing. Yes, you need all of that butter. We are layering and icing a 3-layer s'mores cake. Make sure your butter is at room temperature so it whips better and it just works better. Also, stop your mixer to scrape down the sides of the bowl every so often. You want everything nice and uniform and incorporated. I'm going to add in this 13-ounce tub of marshmallow cream. This was a workout for my arm and my wrist, y'all, because it is so sticky and it was a little hard to get out of that tub, but we did it. We got that mixed in with the butter really good. Now we're gonna add 3 cups of powdered sugar, mix it in, scraping down the bowls, of course. This is where things are about to get messy because of the powdered sugar and because I literally refuse to find the splash guard for my mixer. It kind of looks like it's snowing in here. If you're a mess like me, it's cool. We can just clean as we go. Once those 3 cups of powdered sugar are mixed in really good, you just add the last 3 cups. Now it's time to add in those toasted marshmallows, which ended up looking like this one big lump after I scraped them out of my glass pan. Don't worry though, it mixed and blended in with the icing perfectly. I just love how it looks. You can see the little toasted bits of brown in the icing. And now do you know what we need? More icing. This is a small batch of vanilla icing. This is only to make like a dam, like a border for the layers of the cake. This is a similar process to the marshmallow icing, where you add a bit of powdered sugar at a time, but this also has vanilla and some heavy cream. Once that is nice and smooth, you want to work on the chocolate ganache. So I use like a 1.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. I brought some heavy cream just to a boil and poured it over that. And then you just want to lightly fold and mix this. This is a longer process. Definitely want to take your time, but don't get discouraged if you feel like it's taking too long and it's not making a change. You just keep mixing and then you're going to get this chocolatey, velvety looking sauce. And now to assemble this cake. Always add a smidge of icing on the board just so the bottom layer doesn't slide around the cake. I'm going to use a carving knife from my knife set. I love this knife. I've had this set for like 2 or 3 years and they're still not dull yet. If you want to check out the knife set, I'm going to link it in the description. Now here's the dam I was telling you about. I am just going around the cake a couple of times with the vanilla icing that we made. And then I'm going to go in the middle to start adding everything else in the layer. The first layer is the chocolate ganache. You add about 6 tablespoons of this and spread it all the way around. Then you're going to add about a cup of that toasted marshmallow frosting and spread it evenly. And lastly, a 1/2 cup of those graham cracker crumbs. Then you just rinse and repeat for the second layer of the cake. And when you're done, you want to put your cake in the fridge for about 30 minutes just so everything can get set together. And now we're going to ice the cake. I just put a big glob of the marshmallow frosting on top and start smushing and smoothing. I don't even know how to describe this process. Like, I would love to give a tutorial on how to ice a cake, but I feel like I am still a beginner and I forget how to use words sometimes, but hopefully you can get some of the technique by watching. Icing the outside of the cake and seeing it go from naked to covered is like my favorite part. I use the hot water trick to make the outside look smoother than it did before. And once you're happy enough with how it looks, you want to go around the bottom border with the graham cracker crumbs. You just kind of cup your hand and stick it on the cake. Now I added the chocolate ganache to a squeeze bottle and I'm just squeezing out drips along the cake. Once I'm done with all the drips along the outer border of the cake, I'm just going to squeeze the rest of the ganache onto the top and spread it over so that the entire top of the cake is covered in chocolate. Top the chocolate ganache with some marshmallows. I did end up trying to toast them with my lighter because I don't have a kitchen torch, but I quickly realized this takes way too long, so I was not about to do all the marshmallows like this. I just sprinkled a bit of the graham cracker crumbs I had left and then drizzled some of the ganache on top of the marshmallows, and I really love how it came out. For some reason, I forgot to record this part in landscape, but you get the gist. The layers were just beautiful, and the cake honestly tasted so good, but my little ones thought it was too sweet. So now you've got to try the cake and let me know what you think of it. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please.